All right, so today we are going to talk about, and we've already talked about the third angles theorem, but I'm going to re-go over it. And then we're going to talk about side, 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 and side, angle, side, which for most of you guys, this is just going to be a review. For some of you guys that were not here during that section, then you'll be learning it for the first time. But most of you guys have already went over this. So the third angles theorem says if two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, then the third angles are congruent. Okay, so let's think about this. We have two triangles, and this one has one rainbow or swoop for the angle, and this one has one. So those are congruent. That's what it means, 1 and 1. Okay, and then on the flip side of that, B and E both have 2, okay, on the angle. So they're congruent, which that tells us that because a triangle has to be 180 degrees, okay, if we know this one and this one, there's only one option, and it's only one number. So it's fair to say that the other ones have the 3 swoops or rainbows, okay? And so we can say that, but that only works for the angles, not the sides, okay? So when we look at a side, side, side postulate, so there are two side, 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 angle, side, and it's just that. So if two sides in the including angle of one of the triangles are congruent, then the two sides in the including angle of the other triangle and the two triangles are congruent. So that sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot of craziness. And we've talked about this yesterday about like how can we break this down. It is what it says, side, angle, and a side. So we have a side, the angle in between those sides, and another side. If those are congruent, then you can say that both of those triangles are congruent. Okay, but that angle has to be in between this side and this side, or this side and this side. Okay, so you can't pick this side and this one and then have the angle over here. Okay, it has to, they kind of all have to connect. So for example, if we have this triangle, we can't be looking at this side, and this angle. Okay, because when we go in order, we got side, side, angle, and that's not a thing. Okay, so yeah, the angle needs to be in between those two sides. So we have side, angle, and then side. Okay, and so that's very important when you're looking at these triangles. Okay. And then the other one is side, 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 and it's just that. It says if this side is congruent to this side, and this side is congruent to this side, and this side is congruent to this side, then they're congruent triangles. Okay, and so we got side, side, side marked, and so we can fairly say that those two triangles are congruent. Okay, so look at your sheet. I have 550 things open today. Okay, and all they want to know is side, 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 and it says, how do you know? Okay, and I think I put an option on here for nothing. I don't remember. Yeah, I did. Okay, so we got side, 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 angle, side, or before we said NA. What'd that stand for?
Not a blood flat.
Yeah, there's not enough information, okay? It means not applicable. Is that what I said right? Okay. I don't know why I was having a hard time saying that. Okay, not applicable. Okay, which, I hate you guys so much. Okay, so what that's saying is there's just not enough information for us to conclude fairly that it's either side, 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 or side, angle, side. Okay, so if we look at the first one, we have these two triangles marked. Okay, and some of these you're going to really have to look at separate. So we have this triangle, and it's marked, and we have this triangle, and it has a marking. So we know two of the sides are congruent for sure. Well, you can't say side, side, side because are all three sides marked? Only one side is technically marked. Okay, do we know any of the angles? We know one. What kind of angles are these?
Vertical?
They're vertical. They're equal and opposite. Okay, so you could fairly mark this angle is congruent with this angle. Okay, so can you mark another side or another angle?
No?
No, we can't. And so this one's going to be NA. There's just not enough information here for us to do side, 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 or side, angle, side.
It's gonna be not up.
Okay, let's look at 3.
Yeah, that.
Okay, so 3, we have this triangle, and it has a 2 and a 1 marked on it, and the angle is marked in between them. Okay, this triangle, we have a triangle, and this one is marked, and this one is marked. So we know that this side is equal to this side, and we know that these sides are equal to each other. If this one is a right angle, do you think that that one is a right angle? Huh?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of this little square inside, because once that would pass, it would never tilt.
Yeah, but what does that tell us about the other one? Why do you say they're equal? It is a right angle. Why are they equal? They're congruent, okay? These are vertical angles. Vertical angle says that they're equal and opposite. They're pointing away from each other, and they're 2 equal angles. So you could say that this one is also a right angle. Now, with that given, we have what?
Side angle, side?
Side, angle, side, okay? And I can tell you without even marking anything else, that if you kind of look at this, and this is bad of me to say, but not really, okay? Because you use your street smart skills. If this one is side, angle, side, okay? Just because it's not marked, that means that this one is probably side, angle, side also, okay? Without even like figuring out, if you didn't know anything about vertical angles, I would go ahead and pick side, angle, side, just from, because there's only 3 options, okay? Okay, look at 5. Take a second, look at it. What do you think? Huh? I can't. Why do you think they're congruent? Okay, so without even knowing anything else, if this one is a right angle, what is the one probably right next to it? It's a right angle. Okay, what else? What would we need else to know in order for us to pick something?
The sides?
We would need another side. Can we pick another side? You can. Okay, so see how these 2 triangles are touching? Is that the same line? So are they the same size? Yeah, so you can mark this. Okay, if they are on, if the 2 triangles are touching and then that means they're the same line and they're the same size. Okay, so now if we have this marked, what is this one going to be?
Side.
So we got a side,
Side.
side, angle, side. Okay, look at 7. Take a second, look at it. What do you know already? We know a side, because it's marked. Do we know any angles? Okay, so one angle is marked, right? And one side is marked. So, is side, side, side a possibility? No, because an angle is marked. Okay, so you only have 2 options now. You got a 50-50 guess.
It's side angle, side.
So do we think it's side, angle, side, or not enough information?
Side angle, side?
So, is this the same line?
Oh.
Are the triangles touching?
Mhm.
So it's congruent. Okay, so now, do we have enough information to say side, angle, side? Look at it. Does it say side, then the angle in between, and then the side? No. Okay, so the only way that would work is if this angle was the one we were using. Okay, because this really says side, side, and then angle. Okay,
That one's
or
not.
side, angle, and then nothing. Okay, so this one's going to be NA. There's just not enough information there for us to say side, angle, side. Okay, look at 9. What are you given? Are you given any sides or angles? No sides are marked. What about any angles?
Yeah.
So we got a side, or a angle. Do we have any sides? Could you draw any sides? Are those 2 triangles touching? They are, which means you can mark a side. Where? The middle one. Is that enough information now for us to get something? No,
So it's not a.
it's not applicable.
That's the way it's applicable. Huh?
Okay,